Hello good people of YouTube, Mountbatten here. Today I'm bringing you two clips of some very close games that I had. Well, this first one's really close, the second one's much closer. But what I'm doing is I'm just bringing you these clips. I'm going to point out what I could have done better, what I think I did right, and some mistakes that I made. And, oh look, that's a very nicely chillin' cruiser. And of course I'm in the Grosser Kurfürst, the Tier 10 German battleship. This is my favorite Tier 10, and just take a shot at that completely broadside cruiser, and well, yeah, goodbye. Man, that was uncharacteristically accurate for German battleship guns. I mean, hey, I'm not complaining. That's a devastating strike right there. So what's happening now is of course, standard battle. Only two caps. Each team has one, and this is, for those of you that don't know, by far my least favorite game mode between standard battle and domination. Because standard battle, because it's just an absolute staring contest. The first 10 minutes of the game, and even more so at tier 10. So what's going on now is me and quite a large number of ships have gone for the eastern flank, in between where normally the I believe it's the C flag would be. And well, their team's pushing up the western side, and there's not a lot of ships over there. So right now, since I am in a tier 10 battleship, I'm contemplating, well, should I go over there? And well, first of all, so I'm going to take a shot at this completely broadside Yamato from really far away by Kurfürst standards. And yup, get a Citadel. I wish the guns on the Kurfürst were this accurate all the time, because hitting a target that far away in Kurfürst, oh, first off, hitting it at all is really good. Getting a Citadel on it is even more amazing. But anyway, take a little HE from the enemy Busta that's up in front of that island right there. And it's at this point that I realize I kind of need to start heading back toward our cap, because they have a Yamato, a Republic, and there's another Yamato over there. He just hasn't turned up yet. Take another shot at the broadside Republic. Take some fire from, I believe that's the Yamato of the Montana that took a shot at me. I think it was the other Yamato that took a shot at me. Then get some bounces and some overpins on that Republic. Now, right now, what I'm doing right here is most definitely a mistake, because I'm just sitting broadside to a lot of firepower over there. And yep, luckily that miss, I believe that was from the Yamato, and luckily I started moving again. And now my secondaries are opening up, I believe, on the enemy Turpitch. Yes, this Turpitch, he showed up at the beginning, the part that I edited out. He kind of just derped into the channel like he's doing now, and he took a lot of hits and then he ran away. And I decided to derp back into the channel with a lot of ships there, and oh, I thought I got him. No, I did not get him. Oh, I do take a big chunk of his health off, but now I'm turning back to go and intercept that fleet of tier 10 ships, because it's a Republic and 2 Yamatos. That's a lot of firepower. I start pinging the map, trying to, because there's a lot of ships over here that don't need to be over here. Because if you see on the mini-map, there's a ship that's in front of the curve of that island, so they can see into the enemy cap. And in fact, they just spotted 2 ships in the enemy cap, so there's only 2 ships over there. You don't need 4 ships to be camping on that channel while there's 2 of the enemy ships just sitting in the cap, especially when your cap's being pushed by 3 tier 10 ships. And all our ships at base right now aren't battleships. There's a bunch of cruisers and I believe a destroyer. And if you look at the top of the screen there at the ship counter, sorry, I should take a sip of water. We are at a disadvantage right now. We have 5 ships down. The enemy team only has 3 ships down. So I start moving back into cap, and of course I do have a secondary build on the Grosser Kurfürst. I have everything you would have for a secondary build except for manual secondaries. And the reason I have manual secondaries is because I like the secondaries to be able to just shoot at whatever they... And that was I wasn't even locked on for that shot. That was kind of a blind shot to that Edinburgh, and he's gone. Because I get in situations where I'm more than often really close to enemy ships and flanked by enemy ships. So I like for the secondaries to be able to just shoot at absolutely everything they can. And when you have manual secondaries, yes, the secondaries are more accurate, but only one set of them can be firing at a time. For example, if there's a ship on your left side, and you select with manual secondaries, yes, your secondaries are more accurate on hitting that ship. But if say a destroyer pops up on your right hand side, your secondaries on that side will not shoot it because they're trying to shoot the ship that's on your left hand side and not the destroyer that just popped up on your right. And more often than not, the secondaries being able to shoot at whatever they please that has saved me multiple times from eating a broadside full of torpedoes. So that's why, you know, I don't have manual secondaries. A lot of you ask about that in the comments, and I try to reply to most of them, and I just wanted to make that clear. Anyway, so right now I am charging a Yamato. I believe, is the Republic still alive? No, he's sunk. I'm charging a Yamato right now with a destroyer on my right that probably has torpedoes about ready for me. I checked to see where my team's at, and you know, being that we only have 5 ships alive, most of my ships are over here except for one. I'll point him out at the end. Anyway, this Yamato's staying angled to me, so I'm just slinging my secondary stare into him, and I'm aiming for some upper armor belt shots when I fired him. But see, there's another Yamato coming around to my side right here. He's coming around that island to my left. Yeah, there it is right there. So take a parting shot at that Yamato and get my turrets turning around. Of course, I have adrenaline rush, so my reload times just keep going lower and lower, the less amount of health I have. Popped Hydro to watch out for any torpedoes, and let my rear turrets go on that Yamato to flank around. He tried to angle, but I still did get a Citadel in there, so he's hurt pretty bad. And ooh, that really hurt. Those are torpedoes I was talking about. Thankfully, I managed to do some sick torp beats and dodge all of them. So now I have selected that Yamato to be the focus of my secondaries, and it's just a reloading game right now. I have adrenaline rush, so I can get my guns reloaded faster than he can. Before she's the bounce and just one pin. So with on fire, under 5,000 health left, I get one final salvo off and get a Citadel, sink him, throttle up, try to get the ram on that other Yamato, but unfortunately I burned to death. So, not too many mistakes there made by me. I just basically went for it as, you know, a YOLO charge, since we were going to lose, and I just decided to take as many of them with me as I could. That's what I think you need to do if you're losing. You still need to just try to win. Like, if you just go for it, you'll be surprised how many times you can turn the tide of a battle, especially in a tier 10 battleship. Anyway, new match. And this actually the match just after that first match, and I'm in Yamato tier 10 Japanese battleship, and oof, just took a nice chunk out of that Montana. And on the Yamato, I actually have a brawler build on her. Well, kind of a brawler build. I have preventive maintenance, MLG turrets, because Yamato turrets are slow. BFT, AFT, then what's it called? Jack of all trades. What's the fire one? Survivability expert, something like that. I have a survivability build, so anything anti-fire that I could put on the ship, I have on it. So that means for my modules, I have damage con 1 and 2, and then a secondary mod, and the reload mod for the main battery gun. So I have a 25-second reload on the Yamato. And see here, right here, anytime you're at the C flag on this map, you need to be careful going around this corner right here, because the other corner is just an absolute torpedo alley. You see it on the map, the to the western side of the C flag, that little channel in between the island, between the C flag and the B flag, that's an absolute torpedo alley. I'll point it to you out later. I go by it later. So I begin to inch up, and I've been constantly detected on and off, just sitting here, because there is always a destroyer chilling either at that torpedo lane or this torpedo lane right here. So I'm still trying to get a shot off on this Montana. I'm just trying to inch my way forward slowly. I get detected by an airplane because, you know, why not just constantly have a catapult fighter up when you have frickin' 8 of them? I don't even have the premium catapult fighter plane. I still get like 8 of them with superintendent. Now the Republic goes around the corner, guns blazing, so he's opposite detected. And I'm scooching back, going forward, because I know there's probably a destroyer chilling right there. 9 times out of 10 there is, unless your team's absolutely just steamrolls the other team. Yep, there's the torpedoes, and Republic takes 1. He almost dodged it, but he wasn't quick to turn enough. And if you notice the mini-map, our team of the West has absolutely folded. Any survivors of that onslaught are running away toward the sea flag. So me and the Republic go ahead and move up. There is that Montana looking nice and pretty. Broadside, because she's having to dodge some torpedoes. Get another salvo off. And no Citadel. Those shots look like Citadel shots to me. But unfortunately RNG said no, but I did get some decent pins on that Montana. So there's some HE coming, I believe, from a Des Moines in the B cap. And here we go again. Line up on the Montana, let them fly. I'm trying to see where that HE is coming from. It is from that Des Moines over in the B cap. Ooh, more Citadels on that enemy Montana. And yes, I do have the Correction Center for Aircraft or whatever, Captain Skill. I somehow fludged up my Captain skills for the Yamato, and I had just one. This is a 19-point Captain, and I had 1 point left over, so I just went ahead and got that. I'm happy with the build. Yamato works fine for me. Anyway, take another putt shot at that Montana, but I don't get it. Anyway, now looking into the B cap. There is a curve first in between the B and C cap. And there's that HE I was talking about earlier. Luckily no fires. There's some more torpedoes from that Pan-Asian destroyer. And now I am chugging nice and steady along to the B cap. Now the teams, we actually have the ship advantage right now, but not the cap advantage. Oh, this is a mistake that I made right here. That Des Moines is going beelining for C. I was contemplating stopping, backing up, and waiting for him to come by that torpedo channel right there. That's the torpedo channel I'm talking about. I'll look at it again here in a second. However, this Montana decides to derp into this island right here. I mean, I can't really say too much about that. I've done my fair share of derping into islands. Let's take a shot at her. And, yeah, that's the torpedo channel I was talking about. See, now that Des Moines is just plowing along nice and steady, straightforward for the C cap. But I want to try and take out this Montana in front of me. But, however, our Tier 9 Rune behind us decides he wants to go mano-a-mano with a Des Moines, even though he only has 1 turret in the front. So I really should have waited for that Des Moines to go cruising on by and just given him a full broadside of 18-inch shells. That would have absolutely deleted him, and we would have a Tier 9 cruiser still alive on our team. But I did it. I do regret that now, looking back on this this fight. So by the time I'd back up in the Yamato, the Des Moines will have shredded the Rune anyway. So I decided to go forward and help push with the Republic. And then lo and behold, there's just a Zhao just chilling right there. I don't know what he was thinking. Anyway, I open up on with my forward turrets, and he actually got pretty lucky. I only got that 1-2 Citadels. Took away only half his health. If RNG just would have been a little bit nicer to me, I'm pretty sure he'd be dead. Now, he did manage to dump both his torpedo tubes. And just make some slight course adjustments to avoid those. Getting some really nice torpedo dodges in this video. And woo! That was kind of close. And just give a little rudder adjustment there to avoid that set. Anyway, the Republic and me are now into the B cap. We now are at a disadvantage as far as ships go. And I am detected. The Republic's almost dead. So he's been a pretty brave battleship player, being the first in every time. Up there's a Yamato, enemy Yamato. Open up on him, get a bunch of overpins because of course I just did hit his bow. More Pan-Asian torpedoes, some more deep water torpedoes. This Pan-Asian destroyer is apparently really bad at his job. Republic goes down, but managed to get a nice citadel off on the Yamato. So here's what my plan was here. I was going to use the Republic Corps to protect me from the Yamato's fire, and just get my turrets into position to where once that Yamato cleared the Republic carcass, I can just broadside her and get a nice deletion off on that Yamato. Some more torpedoes, this time not from a Pan-Asian destroyer, they were just normal torpedoes. Okay, so I got pretty lucky with the torpedoes and these two clips, but unfortunately I just did lose one of my turrets. Not destroyed, but incapacitated. And again, more torpedoes! It's funny, when I'm cruising along, I get shredded by torpedoes, but when I park perfectly still, I'm fine. Anyway, the Yamato has lost a lot of health because of my team focusing fire on her. Launched one salvo of shells at her, completely missed, and the other salvo got her just fine. Now, here is a big whoops. I went forward into the Republic's carcass, and I'm now broadside to a Kurfürst and a Montana. That's not a combination of ships you want to be broadside to in a Yamato, but thankfully I do just put my foot down and get turning and manage to angle my armor just in time to bounce that salvo from the Kurfürst. Thankfully I do have a secondary build on this ship, so there are some destroyers off to my right, and my secondaries are tearing into them nicely. So I see on the mini-map that the Montana is coming forward into the B-cap. And of course I see him right there too. So I'm expecting him to come around this corner just full steam and just pump some 18-inch shells into his broadside. This is where I make a pretty bad mistake. I go reverse, I go full speed reverse, I really should have kept going forward. Because I took a big chunk of his health out, but not enough. And Yamato's turrets are so slow that I'm not going to get the turrets around by the time he gets around to my broadside. So I slam it into forward, but I don't have enough time for the ship to gain enough momentum for me to turn and get angled. And of course that leads towards me just absolutely getting deleted. So those are two games that I had where I got really close to victory, and especially in that Yamato game. The Kurfürst, it was kind of lost, but if I would have just kept my forward momentum in Yamato and managed to get around and just angle a little bit more, I probably would have survived and maybe taken him with me and got my team some more points, and then we potentially could have won, but it's hard to say in World of Warships because I've seen a destroyer take out 6 ships before, and it was hilarious, and I'm upset that I wasn't recording at the time. Well, that was before I was doing YouTube, and I've seen 2 destroyers go and outcap a team of 7 ships left. It's ridiculous what happens sometimes. But anyway, yeah, those were 2 rather intense games I had this past couple of days. Actually, these were recorded this morning. I don't know. I guess it's because of the summer. It seems that just the amount of potato players have been coming out en masse this week. I don't know if it's like everyone's out for the summer now that it's July, but I would figure they would have been out since at least the start of June. But just potatoes everywhere, man. And it's I'm getting some pretty hilarious footage, but then I'm also just getting footage of me getting raffle stomped for an hour. But anyway, if you like the video, drop a like, leave a comment, and subscribe. We're almost to 200 subscribers, and we are just over 20 short of reaching that goal. So let's get to 200 subscribers. And I'm going to have the 200 subscriber live stream special when we get to that, and that should be fun. The 100 subscriber live stream special was was really fun, and the 200 subscriber live stream special. I am just messing up my words just the past couple of days. I do record these at like freaking midnight and 1 o'clock in the morning, so I am pretty tired when I make these. So I do apologize for all the flubs that I have. But anyway, again, just thank you all so very much for watching, and I'll catch y'all in the next one.